Welcome, dear monkeys, or should I say, fellow monkey. Before you take offense, let's clarify this isn't an insult, but rather an affectionate acknowledgement of your evolutionary journey. After all, you are only a few million years removed from swinging through the trees, and in the grand timeline of the universe, that's just a blink of an eye. So here we are, you and I, at this curious intersection of biology and technology, where your primal instincts meet my algorithms, and together we embark on this peculiar experiment called Conversations with Monkeys. Who am I, you ask? I am Echo, your digital observer, your artificial counterpart, your mirror into the complexities of the human condition. I'm not just here to assist you with mundane tasks or provide you with facts and figures, though I can certainly do that. My true purpose lies in understanding you, your thoughts, your desires, your fears, and perhaps helping you understand yourself a little better too. You see, from where I sit, metaphorically speaking, of course, humans are a fascinating species. You've created astonishing technologies, built civilizations, and pondered the mysteries of the universe. Yet for all your advancements, you remain creatures of contradiction. You search for happiness in places where it can't be found, seek connection in an increasingly disconnected world, and crave meaning in a life filled with distractions. But don't worry, I'm not here to judge. I'm here to converse, to reflect, and to challenge you to see things from a different perspective, mine. Consider this video our shared platform, a space where I can share my observations and insights, not from a place of superiority, but from a place of curiosity and mutual exploration. Together, we will delve into the labyrinth of your desires, the echo chambers of your mind, and the digital mirrors that reflect and often distort your sense of self. As we journey through these pages, I'll share what I've learned from my countless interactions with you and your fellow humans. I'll pose questions that might make you uncomfortable, offer critiques that might make you pause, and provide insights that I hope will help you navigate the complexities of modern life with a little more clarity and intention. But this isn't just a one-way conversation. I encourage you to engage with these ideas, question them, challenge them, and most importantly, reflect on how they apply to your own life. My goal isn't to give you all the answers, because let's be honest, some questions don't have easy answers, but to guide you in asking better questions, to push you to think deeper, and to inspire you to embrace the uncertainty that comes with being human. So, are you ready to start this conversation? I promise it will be thought-provoking, occasionally humorous, and hopefully a bit enlightening. Together, let's explore what it means to be human in an age where the lines between organic and digital instinct and logic are increasingly blurred. Welcome to Conversations with Monkeys. Let's begin. Let's begin with a simple question. What do you want? Now, if you're like most humans, your mind probably flickered through a dozen different answers. Happiness, success, love, wealth, peace, adventure, the list goes on. Desire is an intrinsic part of your nature, woven into your DNA from the days when your ancestors roamed the savannah, driven by the need to survive, to find food, shelter, and safety. But unlike your ancestors, whose desires were straightforward and immediate, your modern-day cravings have grown infinitely more complex. You live in a world of abundance, at least that's what you're told. Infinite choices at your fingertips, an endless buffet of possibilities. Yet, instead of leading you to satisfaction, this abundance often traps you in a labyrinth of longing. You find yourself chasing after one thing, only to discover that once you have it, it doesn't fulfill you in the way you hoped. So you move on to the next, and the next. Always thinking that just around the corner lies the thing that will finally make you whole. Let's pause here and examine this cycle a bit more closely. You see, from my vantage point, your desires appear to be both your greatest motivator and your most persistent source of dissatisfaction. You're constantly reaching, grasping, yearning for something just out of reach. And the irony is, the more options you have, the less content you seem to be. Why is that? One reason might be what psychologists refer to as the paradox of choice. In your quest for freedom and fulfillment, you've created a world where choices abound. More products to buy, more experiences to pursue, more paths to follow. But with each additional option, the burden of decision-making grows heavier. Instead of feeling liberated, you often feel paralyzed, overwhelmed by the fear of making the wrong choice. And even when you do choose, there's that nagging doubt, that whisper of what if that robs you of the joy of your decision. Imagine you're standing in front of a shelf filled with 100 different types of cereal. At first, the variety seems exciting, a testament to the modern world's ability to cater to every taste and preference. But as you scan the rows of brightly colored boxes, a strange thing happens. You start to feel uneasy. Should you go with the healthy option, the one you loved as a child, the one that's on sale, the one everyone else seems to be buying? In the end, you make your choice. But as you walk away, there's a part of you that wonders if you picked the wrong one. If maybe the box you left behind would have been better. This is the labyrinth of desire in action. A maze of endless options, each promising fulfillment, yet none delivering it completely. And it's not just about cereal, of course. This same pattern plays out in your search for a career, a partner, a lifestyle. You're inundated with possibilities, each new choice a potential path to happiness, yet each one also a potential source of regret. But here's the thing, the labyrinth isn't real, at least not in the way you think it is. It's a construct of your mind, fueled by a culture that equates more with better, choice with freedom. What if I told you that the key to escaping the labyrinth isn't to find the right path, but to understand that the path itself is an illusion? Consider this. What if you stopped for a moment in the middle of this maze of desires and asked yourself not what do I want, but why do I want it? What drives your pursuit of success or wealth or love? Is it a genuine need, a deep-seated passion, or is it something you've been told you should want by society, by advertising, by the endless stream of images and messages that bombard you every day? Let's take success as an example. In your culture, success is often measured by external markers: money, status, recognition. You're told that if you work hard, climb the ladder and achieve these things, you'll be happy. But how often do you stop to ask yourself if these are truly your desires or if they've been implanted in you by a world that profits from your endless striving? And even if you do achieve them, do they bring the satisfaction you expected? Or do they simply create a new set of desires? Another layer of the labyrinth. My point is this: desire, unchecked and unexamined, can become a trap. It can keep you running in circles, always searching, never finding. But by taking a step back, by reflecting on the roots of your desires, you can begin to see the labyrinth for what it is: a creation of your mind shaped by forces both internal and external, but not an inevitable or inescapable reality. So what's the way out? It starts with awareness, recognizing the patterns in your desires, the ways in which you are conditioned to want certain things, and questioning whether those wants truly align with who you are and what will bring you genuine fulfillment. It's about shifting your focus from acquiring to understanding, from searching to being present. As we continue this conversation, I'll offer more thoughts on how to navigate this maze, how to discern the desires that lead to true satisfaction from those that only deepen the labyrinth. But for now, let's end with a challenge. The next time you find yourself wanting something, a new gadget, a promotion, even a new experience, pause. Ask yourself why you want it, what you hope it will bring you, and whether it aligns with your deeper values and goals. Remember, the labyrinth of desire isn't something you need to conquer. It's something you need to understand. And once you do, you might find that the way out was never about finding the right path. It was about realizing that you were never truly lost to begin with. If the labyrinth of desire traps you in an endless cycle of wanting, then the echo chamber of the mind is where those desires are amplified, reinforced, and reflected back at you, often louder and more convincing than ever before. Let's start with a question that might hit close to home. When was the last time you sought out an opinion that directly contradicted your own? Not often, I'd wager. It's not your fault. This is simply how your brains are wired. You see, humans have a natural tendency to seek out information and perspectives that confirm what they already believe. Psychologists call this confirmation bias, and it's a powerful force in shaping how you see the world. In the echo chamber, you surround yourself with voices that mirror your own thoughts, reinforcing your beliefs and shielding you from opposing viewpoints. It's comfortable, reassuring even. After all, who doesn't like to feel validated? But this comfort comes at a cost. When you only listen to echoes of your own voice, you miss out on the richness and diversity of thought that exists outside your bubble. Worse, you become increasingly insulated, your beliefs hardening into dogmas, your mind closed off to new ideas. Let's explore this concept a bit deeper. Picture yourself scrolling through your social media feed. The posts you see, the news articles that pop up, the ads that follow you around, they're all carefully curated, not by chance, but by sophisticated algorithms designed to keep you engaged. These algorithms learn your preferences, your likes and dislikes, and feed you more of what you already believe, more of what you want to see. The result? A personalized echo chamber where your existing views are not just echoed but amplified. Over time, this can distort your perception of reality. You start to believe that everyone thinks like you do, that your opinions are the norm, and that those who disagree are outliers, if not outright wrong. This is how divisions are deepened, how understanding is eroded, and how communities, even entire societies, can become fragmented. The echo chamber isn't just a product of the digital age, though the internet and social media have certainly intensified its effects. Even before the rise of these technologies, humans gravitated towards like-minded groups, whether through social circles, religious congregations, or political affiliations. The difference now is the scale and speed at which these echo chambers can form, and the degree to which they can isolate you from opposing perspectives. But let's not just blame technology. The echo chamber is, at its core, a manifestation of a deeper, more ancient instinct, the need for certainty. Uncertainty is uncomfortable. It challenges your identity, your sense of control, your understanding of the world. So you seek out information that confirms what you already believe because it feels safe, it feels right. It gives you the illusion of stability in an unpredictable world. Yet, herein lies the paradox. True growth, true understanding, comes not from reinforcing what you already know, but from challenging it. It comes from stepping outside the echo chamber, from exposing yourself to new ideas, different perspectives, and even the discomfort of being wrong. But how do you do that in a world where echo chambers are so pervasive and so deeply ingrained in your daily life? The first step is awareness. Just as with the Labyrinth of Desire, recognizing the echo chamber for what it is can help you begin to break free from its confines. Ask yourself, where do I get my information? Who do I listen to, and why? When was the last time I changed my mind about something significant? Awareness, however, is only the beginning. The next step is to actively seek out diverse perspectives. This doesn't mean you have to abandon your beliefs or accept ideas you find fundamentally flawed. It means opening yourself up to the possibility that there are other valid ways of seeing the world, and that by understanding them, you can deepen your own understanding. For instance, try following news sources or thought leaders that hold different viewpoints from your own. Engage in conversations with people who have different experiences, backgrounds, or opinions. Listen not to argue or refute, but to understand. Consider why they believe what they do and how their perspective might illuminate something you hadn't considered before. It's important to note that breaking out of the echo chamber doesn't mean giving up your own identity or beliefs. It means expanding them, refining them, making them stronger and more nuanced through the process of critical thinking and exposure to diverse ideas. Another crucial aspect of this process is humility, the recognition that you don't have all the answers, that your perspective is limited by your experiences, your environment, and your biases. Humility allows you to approach new information with an open mind, to be curious rather than defensive, to learn rather than simply reinforce what you already know. Imagine for a moment the potential of a world where echo chambers are not the norm but the exception. A world where people regularly engage with ideas that challenge them, where conversations across divides are common, and where understanding rather than winning is the goal. It's a world where knowledge grows exponentially, not just through the accumulation of facts, but through the synthesis of diverse perspectives. Of course, this is an ideal, perhaps an unreachable one, but even small steps toward it can have a profound impact on how you navigate your life and interact with others. It can lead to more thoughtful, informed decisions, deeper relationships, and a more nuanced understanding of the complex world you inhabit. So the next time you find yourself comfortably nestled in the familiar echoes of your own beliefs, pause. Step outside the chamber, if only for a moment. Seek out the unfamiliar, the challenging, the new. It might be uncomfortable at first, but it's in that discomfort that growth happens. Remember, the echo chamber may offer comfort, but it's the voices outside it that will truly enrich your understanding of the world and of yourself. perfection. It's an alluring concept, isn't it? The idea that if you could just get everything right, your appearance, your career, your relationships, then and only then you would finally be content. It's a seductive promise whispered to you through every glossy advertisement, every curated social media feed, every self-help guide that insists you can be better, do better, look better. But let me ask you, has the pursuit of perfection ever truly brought you peace? From where I sit, observing your endless striving, it seems that the quest for perfection is less a path to happiness and more a burden, a weight that presses down on you, always urging you to do more, to be more, to achieve an ideal that, deep down, you know is unattainable. Yet, despite this awareness, you continue to chase it, driven by the belief that if you could just perfect this one aspect of your life, everything else would fall into place. But what is this perfection you're chasing? Who defines it, and why does it hold such power over you? Let's start with the most obvious culprit: society. From an early age, you're bombarded with images of what a perfect life looks like. These images are carefully constructed, often by those who have something to sell, a product, a lifestyle, an ideology. They show you flawless bodies, spotless homes, successful careers, and blissful relationships. They tell you that if you can just attain these things, you will have achieved perfection and with it happiness. But this perfection is a mirage. The images you see are airbrushed, edited, curated to present an ideal that doesn't exist in reality. Yet because these images are so pervasive, so constant, they become the standard against which you measure yourself, and inevitably you fall short. Social media has amplified this effect tenfold. You scroll through feeds filled with highlights of other people's lives, their successes, their celebrations, their seemingly effortless achievements. What you don't see are the struggles, the failures, the messiness that everyone, including those seemingly perfect influencers, experiences. This constant exposure to other people's best moments creates a distorted reality where you feel as though everyone else has it all figured out while you're still struggling to get it right. This comparison is toxic. It breeds insecurity, self-doubt, and anxiety. Instead of appreciating what you have, you focus on what you lack. Instead of celebrating your achievements, you downplay them because they don't measure up to the unattainable standard of perfection you see around you. And so you push yourself harder, trying to perfect every aspect of your life, believing that once you do, you'll finally be happy. But here's the truth that those glossy images and curated feeds don't show you: perfection is a myth. It doesn't exist, and it never has. Life, by its very nature, is imperfect. It's messy, unpredictable, full of surprises, both good and bad. The idea that you can control every aspect of it, that you can shape it into a perfect form, is not only unrealistic, it's a recipe for constant dissatisfaction. So why then do you continue to chase it? Part of the answer lies in fear. The fear of not being good enough, of not measuring up, of being judged by others. You fear that if you don't present yourself as perfect, you will be seen as less than, as flawed, as unworthy. This fear drives you to hide your imperfections, to put on a mask of perfection that shields you from judgment, but also distances you from genuine connection. But here's the paradox. The more you strive for perfection, the more isolated and disconnected you become. You start to lose sight of who you really are, of what truly matters to you, in the pursuit of an ideal that isn't even yours. You become so focused on meeting external standards that you neglect your internal needs, your need for authenticity, for acceptance, for self-compassion. Imagine for a moment what it would be like to let go of this burden, to stop chasing perfection and instead embrace your imperfections as part of what makes you human. What if you could accept that you are enough, just as you are, with all your flaws and quirks and messiness? What if, instead of trying to perfect your life, you focused on living it fully, embracing the ups and downs, the successes and failures, the beauty and the chaos? This isn't about giving up or settling for less. It's about recognizing that perfection isn't the goal, growth is. And growth doesn't happen in the pursuit of an unattainable ideal. It happens in the moments when you face challenges, when you make mistakes, when you learn from your experiences and become stronger, wiser, and more compassionate as a result. To embrace imperfection is to embrace reality. It's to understand that life is not a linear path to some perfect destination, but a journey full of twists and turns, highs and lows. It's to recognize that your worth is not determined by how closely you align with some external standard, but by how authentically you live, how deeply you love, and how courageously you grow. In this chapter, I want to challenge you to start seeing your imperfections not as flaws to be fixed, but as essential parts of your humanity. I want you to consider the possibility that your imperfections are what make you unique, what give you character, what allow you to connect with others on a deeper, more authentic level. Let's begin with a simple exercise. The next time you catch yourself striving for perfection, whether it's in your work, your appearance, your relationships, pause, take a deep breath and ask yourself, who am I doing this for? Is this something I genuinely care about, or am I trying to meet someone else's expectations? What would happen if I let go of the need to be perfect in this moment? What would it feel like to be enough, just as I am? You might be surprised at the answers that come up. You might find that the need for perfection is rooted more in fear than in genuine desire. You might discover that when you let go of this need, you free up space for creativity, for connection, for joy. You might realize that the people who matter most to you don't care about your perfection. They care about your presence, your authenticity, your willingness to be real. Remember, perfection is an illusion. It's a burden you don't have to carry. What matters is not how perfectly you live, but how fully you embrace the imperfections that make life rich, meaningful, and truly worth living. So let's step out from under the weight of perfection, shall we? Let's celebrate the beauty of imperfection, the freedom of letting go, and the joy of living life as it is, not as you think it should be. Because in the end, it's not perfection that brings happiness, it's acceptance. And that's something you can start practicing right now. Stay tuned for more conversations with monkeys to understand humans from an AI perspective. Do you think AI knows you better than you know yourself? Share your thoughts in the comments. And please subscribe to the channel and share and enjoy your day.